Me, Matt here.
Killer Kyle.
You know what time it is.
Me, Matt's right through the night. Killer Kyle's got the size. Wheels of fury on the ground. Engine roaring in the sound. Feel the power, let it rise. With the battle in our eyes. Wheels of fury rolling strong. Together we will carry on.
Hey, me, Matt here. This is Killer Kyle. Welcome to another episode of Wheels of Fury.
Hi.
And another edition of Look Back at Year series.
This time we go to, well, last one we did was 2000. So this time we jumped ahead 11 years to 2011. And the first episode is 2011's TNA's Victory Road.
And there was a lot of fuckery to be had here.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, I mean, that's just it.
yeah.
I mean, I was in and out watching TNA for a long time, I think. Yeah, my memory, it is what it is, but yeah, this show is infamous for one match, but
Yeah. And, you know, we've talked about this before. TNA was not very well responded. No, I don't want to say that. A lot of people thought that TNA wouldn't last very long. I think initially, like when TNA first started, people I think only gave it 6 months to last 6 months. And then, as time went on, you know, kept proving people wrong, kept proving people wrong. And here we are, 23 years later, 24, well, yeah, almost 24 years later.
yeah, and I mean, that's just it. When you look at a company like TNA, you can go, okay, every territory and federation, whatever, I feel you don't know how long they're gonna last.
Right.
Like, you look at something like WCW, I'd say 30 something years. No, not even. No.
Well, I mean, that I think is debatable because WCW itself was from when it really took off was like 93 to 01.
Yeah.
You go prior to that, like when it first was World Championship Wrestling, this was late 80s. And then, of course, you go prior to that when it was Jim Crockett Promotions. So, I mean, when it first was back in the territory days, and Jim Crockett Promotions to, you know, the end of the era, if you will, it went from, I'll say, 80, no, well, maybe 85 to 2001.
Yeah. Like, look at WWF. Well, you know, I got WWF 1962 to 1979. Then go from 1979 to 2001. 2002 to WWF. And then go to WWE. And we're still WWE.
You skipped an era.
I skipped an era, yeah.
From 63 to 79, it was Capital Wrestling Corporation. Wide Wrestling Federation.
Yes.
And then, I think it was like 79 to 85, I want to say. It was Worldwide Wrestling Federation. And then in 85, it became, they took out the wide and it was just the World Wrestling Federation.
Yeah.
85 to 01, it was World Wrestling Federation. And then from 01 to currently, it's been WWE.
Oh, two.
02 to currently.
So yeah, it is true what they say. Then WWE has been longer than WWF. If you want to go there.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's just kind of an observation. But yeah, this show was interesting to say the least.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good wrestlers that eventually, man, they're still going today.
Yes.
And there's some that I have no idea where the hell they are now.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's get in Orlando in the Impact Zone.
Indeed.
We've got a Falls Count Anywhere match. We got two ECW originals. We got Tommy Dreamer versus Bully Ray.
Indeed. Now, this wasn't really much of a Falls Count Anywhere match, considering the fact, yes, they went outside, they fought through the crowd, but the match ultimately ended up ending in the ring.
Yeah. And of course, you got Bully Ray coming out. He's on the microphone and he's talking shit about Tommy Dreamer. And then, yeah, the match happens and he picks up the microphone again. Of course, Devon's music hits. And out comes his kids, Tyrese and Terrence.
Terrence and Tyrese, or Terrence and Terrell, or something like that?
Yes, Tyrell.
Tyrell, yeah.
So they come out, of course, they're on the entrance ramp. And from behind comes Devon.
Yeah.
And you got the table set up that Bully Ray had. Of course, Tommy gets up. They do the Dudley drop to
Bully through the table.
Yeah.
Tommy pans him and wins the match.
Now, I mean, not long after this, Billy would be the next year. You have Aces and Eights.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was the starting point to that, I believe. The Dudleys broke up for the... I don't know how many times now that was.
Yeah, exactly.
But this was a good match. And I mean, look at how young Tommy was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed is how slim Bully was.
Yes. Yeah, he did lose some weight after WWE. And it was kind of cool because this was like, they came in 2005 to TNA, but he didn't look slimmer until 2010, 2011.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he looked like a different person there.
Yeah, for sure. TNA Knockouts Tag Titles. Yes, this was that era. Rosita and Sarita taking on Angelina Love and Winter. Now, this was either before, no, this was after Winter's run in WWE as Katie Lee Burchill.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. And of course, and then got Rosita would later go on to become Selena Vega.
Yeah. Yeah, I do remember her, like I didn't watch her back then, but I do remember her in TNA. I might have seen her, but I honestly don't remember. So,
Yeah.
of course, the beautiful people were having a lot of issues Velvet Sky and Angelina Love were picking on each other.
Well, it had a lot to do with winter.
Yeah. And this is, of course, before the pig shit happens, where Angelina eventually turned and she became this zombie type creature or character.
Yeah.
Not creature. With the blue eye contact. It was the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Right.
But I don't even know how to remember that.
Indeed.
But yeah, and the new Knockouts champions, Rosita and Sanita.
See.
And yeah, they worked really well together.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how long they lasted.
Yeah, it wasn't very long. It might have been... It might have been a year or so. I don't exactly remember, but it wasn't very long.
Like, I know that Trinity was in another stable, I thought. Not Trinity, I keep calling her that. Thea. Or Rosalina.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First blood match. We got the Blueprint Matt Morgan
Yes.
versus Hernandez. Like, you've got two big bulls going at it.
Yeah.
And it was a good match for the most part.
Yeah.
I mean,
The ending was dumb.
yeah, Hernandez had like a wooden spike or something, and he was trying to get at Matt Morgan on the ground.
Yeah, Hernandez goes under the ring, grabs looks like a broomstick or something, and breaks it in half over his knee, and he's trying to stab Morgan with it. And Morgan grabs it, and he's trying to do the same to Hernandez. At one point, literally a fan got in the ring.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Referee stopped him. Matt goes over, starts laying the boots to the dude. Security comes along. They are, get the guy to the ring. There's a tussle. Referee gets knocked down. Or whatever.
Yeah.
Hernandez goes to hit Morgan with a chain. Morgan gets the chain from Hernandez. Hits Hernandez with the chain. He's down, and then he goes over to where it's like he had his bandana and something else on the canvas. And Morgan's screaming, "Come on, referee, get another referee," or whatever. He's bleeding, come on. And then, see Morgan go over to the corner where Hernandez is. Hernandez turns around and squirts Morgan with some, like a fake blood packet, whatever the fuck it was. They're still going at each other. Another referee comes out, closes the belt. You're bleeding. It's fake blood, man. Well, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. He was bleeding on the forehead!
Kinda.
You didn't say that! This is supposed to be one of the funnest matches ever. Like, come on. And he gave us this? No wonder I was a WWE person.
Yeah.
Like, still am, but still. Back then, TNA could be the shits.
At times.
I mean, yeah, it wasn't as bad as WCW, but fake blood, really?
Yeah.
I just don't get it. I mean, Matt Morgan and Hernandez are better than this.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck.
Now, as far as both these guys, I think Morgan retired, if I'm not mistaken.
He's the mayor of, I have no idea what city.
And Hernandez is... kudos.
Yeah.
Who knows what he's doing, what he's up to, where he is.
Yeah. Just, I don't understand it. But, fucking is what it is. It's where you kind of want to just take creative and fucking just.
Yeah, basically.
But,
Especially back then.
oh yeah.
Match for the X Division Championship. We got the champion, Frankie Kazarian, against Jeremy and Max Buck and Robbie E. Now, of course, Kazarian is still in the company right now. We just are coming off of Genesis.
Yes.
And banned Mike Santana for the title in a last man standing match. Jeremy and Max Buck, of course, are taking match in the Young Bucks. Robbie E is right now in WWE as Robert Stone. And of course, Cookie, well, she was a Snooki ripoff.
Yeah.
And don't know what she's up to nowadays.
Don't know, don't care, don't have to. So this match was really good actually, and I mean, I think it was Matt's birthday. Yeah. He's called Max, but whatever.
Yeah.
And him and Nick are trying to outdo each other, and obviously they're against each other, but it's kind of stupid the way they had this. I don't even know how this match got put together.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But, and of course, Beer Money. Okay, I'm not doing that yet.
Nope.
But of course, I mean, this match went to Frankie, and
Yep.
and I mean, for the most part, like I watched enough where I thought that Robbie E was annoying,
Oh yeah.
and so it's like, yeah, I never wanted to see him win.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, Kazarian retained the title. And
Yeah.
where that went, I'm not sure.
I will say, looking back to 2011 and seeing Frankie with long hair, like, oh yeah, I forgot he had long hair. Back then. He's got short hair now.
Oh yeah, he had the
Jesus.
long hair and he's got the Metallica logo on his shorts and knee pads, and of course sometimes he would have a Metallica shirt on.
Yeah.
He must really hate Metallica. But anyways, yeah, I mean, just to see how young these guys were.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I know that Matt and Nick were in the early 20s.
Yeah.
Robert Stone, I'm not sure how old he is.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, well, Frankie Kazarian now, I mean, he could still move very well.
Oh, yeah.
In TNA, but back then, like, you could tell it was a lot more quicker.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But faster paced.
Yeah.
I mean, he still does some of the moves that he did back then, but nothing to the caliber of that stuff he did back then. I mean, he did kind of like a Spanish fly to, I think it was Jeremy Buck off the top rope.
Yeah.
He was on a different level back then.
Yeah. And he did a stint in WWE 2009. He wasn't there very long.
No.
But I kind of sort of remember that. I was trying to keep up with the product. But yes, Jeff did leave that year. Team match for the World Tag Team titles. We've got Inc. Jesse Sorensen or Jesse Neal and Shannon Moore against Beer Money, Bobby Roode and James Storm. this was pretty cool.
Yeah. Robert Roode right now is a producer, I think, for WWE.
Yeah.
James Storm
He's acting.
is acting. Jesse Neal, don't know what he's up to. Shannon Moore. I think he's got a tattoo shop
Oh, right on.
in North Carolina, I think.
No, I'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
This was a pretty good match. I mean, both these guys worked well together.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, Beer Money is one of the best tag teams in TNA. And yeah, we did a video a long time ago, best tag teams in professional wrestling. Obviously, you throw these guys in there.
Yeah, for sure.
You got Tennessee Cowboy or whatever.
Yeah.
Of course, Peterborough's own Bobby Roode. And yeah, these guys won the match, retaining the titles.
Yeah.
Got Jesse and Shannon arguing up the ramp.
Well, after the match, Robert and James are, wanting to shake hands with Shannon and Jesse, and, great match, guys. Appreciate it, appreciate the challenge, whatever. You see Shannon Moore, James Storm had his beer on the steps. You see Shannon Moore go over, take a mouthful, spin it right in James's face, takes off out of the ring. Jason's like, Shannon, what the fuck are you doing? Well, it's like, what are you doing? Roode and Storm are both like, what the hell, man? And then, Jesse's saying to Shannon, we don't do that, we're not like that. And Shannon just goes, we're not going to be tag team champs, you don't toughen up, harden up, whatever. You're not a protege anymore, you're not a student anymore. And it's like, okay then.
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, that's just it. I think Shannon was just a second banana anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, he was on Independence, then went WWE on SmackDown, being an MFer, and joining Matt Hardy and all that, whatever, and, just... And then, yeah, he was the punk rocker guy and WWECW, and
Yeah.
shortly after, goes to TNA. And him and Jesse are the tag team, and after that, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
AJ Styles taking on the aforementioned Matt Hardy. Cold-blooded Matt Hardy, they call him at this point.
Yeah. The problem with the TNA roster is that a lot of them were just kind of on drugs.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at guys in the early days like Kurt Hennig and the Road Warriors and Ric Flair, I guess. Now, of course, you go to this era. The Hardy Boys were there. Dustin Reynolds. And it's like, there were some other ones. But it was almost like there had to have been a drug policy and how the hell they got past that. But, you look at Matt back then, and he's got the cornrow haircut, and his body's not in shape.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this was a pretty good match for what it was.
Yeah.
Got Flair giving AJ a testicle exam. Yeah, that was odd. But, I mean, he is the dirtiest player in the game.
Exactly.
But,
You're afraid of the claw.
yeah. But, yeah, Matt was okay in this match, I think. There was a kind of botches or whatever.
Yeah, not too bad.
But, yeah, he did try to do the Twist of Fate. That didn't work.
Yeah.
AJ ended up getting the win. I thought this was the match where he would well, Flair would turn on Matt and have AJ in his corner.
It was actually the last time Matt and AJ faced each other. Greg was in AJ's corner. Greg turned on AJ, and aligned himself with Matt and Mortal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, of course, well, a year and a half later, he would go on to Ring of Honor,
Right.
join Kevin Steen, and I can't remember who was in Scum. But, yeah, so it was an okay match for what it was, but, I mean, since AJ is retiring this year, I figure, you know, congrats to him, and it's unfortunate he had to face a lot of people when they were messed up on Walton in that one match.
You say there had to been a wellness policy in TNA. I don't think there was. Because, like,
I'd say so.
there was a lot of people that were pretty fucked up
Mm-hmm.
back then. And I feel like, well, as long as you could show up and do your job, you know, you were alright. You could, you know, do whatever the fuck you wanted. And the thing is, like, okay, Bischoff and Hogan were in charge of the company at this point in time. You would have thought they would have cracked down on shit like that, but I don't think they gave it to you.
No. No. And
As long as you showed up to the building when you were supposed to and you were able to have a match, hey, you could do whatever the fuck you wanted, it seemed like.
yep. I mean, that's basically it, dude. I feel like TNA is lucky to still be around.
Yeah,
I don't know how, but they are so damn lucky to be around. I mean, back then, it was like, come on.
back then it was fucking practically a three-ring circus.
Pretty much, yeah. It's very sad. So now you have this match. Yeah. You've got Rob Van Dam the whole fucking show versus Master Anderson. Anderson!
Now you want to talk about botchamania? Holy fuck. Yeah.
And again, from talented wrestlers.
I know.
Like, you look at Rob Van Dam's career in ECW, and you're like, this guy could go. We already know the things that Ken Anderson can do, especially in WWE. Fuck you, John Cena. Randy Orton. It doesn't matter. The fact is that this match started off very well.
Yeah.
I don't know how it fell off the rails. But it did.
Yeah.
Garrett Bischoff counts him out.
Yeah.
And it's like, they're looking at each other. They're like, and I'm pretty sure they're like, do you want to still go?
I think Anderson said to Rob, 5 more minutes.
Yeah.
And Rob's like, yeah, sure. And they're trying to convince the ref, you know, restart the match 5 more minutes. And he's like, nah, man, that's it. Match is over. You can even hear the crowd go. It's like kind of split 50-50-ish. Some of the crowd are chanting, restart the match. Some of the crowd are chanting, no.
Like, once again, I understand the time limit, but it's almost like you just cheated the fans out of a good match.
Yeah.
Any other no, that sounds kind of. And it doesn't matter.
If it was any other company, they would have restarted the match or done something.
No, I was gonna say if it were like a mid card match, or whatever. Yeah,
I mean, maybe,
I can understand it, but it's Rob Van Dam and Ken Anderson.
Yeah.
Like, these guys were former champions at one point, and you just gave them this? Yeah.
Dios mío.
But, I mean, I do remember that Ken picked up the world title eventually,
Yeah.
so... it's
Indeed.
just like... what do
Yeah.
you say to that? Come on.
I know. Event of the evening. The world title, Sting taking on Jeff Hardy. Now, here's the thing. You got Jeff coming out, and he's, usually what he does is after he's, energetic, cheers of the crowd, and he's, doing his little dance and, whatever, and, he's got that, he's hyped up, he's getting the crowd hyped up, whatever. This was like, he was just very strolling to the ring. He would even high five the fans. He wasn't even doing that. He goes to get in the ring and he kind of stumbles up the steps. He manages to get up the steps, get in the ring. Sting comes out, does his entrance, and he goes through the introduction process. After the introductions come out, and the introductions are done, Bischoff comes out and he's like, "Oh, there's been a slight change of plan, guys, ladies and gentlemen, the audience." He gets to the ring and he's talking about, Jeff wasn't prepared for Sting on March the 3rd, and then Never got involved. And you see him go over to Jeff first and shakes Jeff's hand, says something to Jeff. Then he continues his little spiel, goes over to Sting, says something to Sting. And then, continues on. Sting wallows Bischoff, stomps on his hand, whatever. Bischoff gets out of the ring. Jeff's trying to take, he's got his shirt in his hand and he's making like he's gonna throw it in the crowd, and just drops it on the canvas. And then, Sting and Jeff lock up, come out of it. Punches are thrown by Sting. Scorpion death drop. 1, 2, 3, go home. And so I think, I had heard that, they knew, or they could tell that Jeff was fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
And they, I think, like Bischoff said, he shouldn't have let Jeff go out. He was so fucked up.
Yeah.
And then, when he realized what was going on, he was like, I gotta do something. So he, came out, did the little spiel, the network got involved, Jeff wasn't ready, he made it a no disqualification match, whatever. He went over to Jeff first and was like, okay, here's what's gonna happen. Bell's gonna ring, you're gonna lock up with Sting, Sting's gonna throw a few punches, he's gonna hit you with the Scorpion Death Drop, pin you, we get out of here. Continues little spiels, went over, said the same thing to Sting. Sting does, he probably's like, okay, you're gonna do this with Jeff, you're gonna lock up with Jeff, punches, Scorpion Death Drop, and then it was like, before when the bell rings, I'm gonna say my thing, you're gonna hit me, you're gonna do this, I'm gonna go out. Bell rings, then you go into that.
Well, yeah. So that's exactly what happened, I think. I don't think. I heard that Bischoff said that they couldn't find Jeff all day.
Right.
So they couldn't find him, they didn't know where he was. And he took whatever pills he took, and he showed up fucked up.
Right,
And
yeah.
so it's like he shows up he gets into the ring, and then what Kyle said happened. Bischoff comes out, he's like, you're gonna lay down for Sting, and then he goes back to talking and on the mic. And then the match happens, and then that's it. Bang, bang, boom. Bob's your uncle.
Yeah.
And what a fucking shame it was. I mean, yeah, Jeff was berated the next night on Impact. It's like, first of all, you put the company in jeopardy. The fact is that, yeah, you looked at all these other matches and you're like, this doesn't compare to what Jeff did.
Right.
And you're wrestling Sting! Anybody would kill for that opportunity. You talk about, I grew up idolizing Sting. But then you pull this. Like, I'm so glad that Matt and Jeff are sober and clean today.
Yeah.
Especially Jeff.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because when you look at somebody that has had as many chances as Jeff, I mean, you can, if you want, say, well, he could have done just as bad as Tammy said. Well, Tammy's rotting in prison.
I mean, like, Jeff did end up in jail a couple times.
Yeah.
But he, did get out.
And that's just it. Like, you gotta just keep your fucking nose clean. And it's a wonder that he got let back into the wrestling business
Yeah.
with that many chances. And I mean, it is a shame because you look at the time where he had the makeup on and he was doing the whole Antichrist thing, and they've been going all the way to Japan. He could have had a match or two with Sting.
Yeah.
He could have did that. He could have had that match with the belt, but no, he couldn't do that. That's how bad addiction is.
Yes, very much so.
And the fact is get help. If you're in that bad a shape, you gotta get help.
And I think Jeff did go to rehab a couple times,
Yes.
but he still ended up, he relapsed and was, did drugs again. But I think the defining moment for Jeff to get clean and sober and stay that way, and I'm sure it's probably the same thing for Matt, for Matt, family.
Yeah.
Matt's got 3 kids. Jeff's got 2, at least 2 girls, maybe 3. Jeff's got Maxwell and the other 2 boys. And, wanting to, see them grow up and, maybe eventually they'll want to get into the wrestling business and whatnot. They were probably both like, okay, we need to get our fucking shit together.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. I was watching, oddly enough, a PSA video from years ago, and the tagline was this guy quitting smoking and quitting smoking, going back and quitting and going back and quitting. And he's like, it doesn't matter how many times you start up again, it's easier to quit each time. So, yeah. Eventually, you will stop completely.
Yeah.
And hopefully Jeff found that.
I think he did.
But regardless, this was a meh show.
Yeah, like it wasn't terrible, it wasn't great, it was just
There.
yeah.
And like I said, I obviously started really watching again around 2012, so I was like
Right.
aces and eights and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But, I mean, when you look at this era, it's like Yeah, I mean, once Hogan and Bischoff came in, it's. I don't know. You didn't know what was going on. And I don't blame Bischoff. I used to. Because when you look at the history with Scott Hall and stuff. And by the way, he regrets doing that.
Right.
But, I mean, it is what it is. And it happened. It was all Jeff. Jeff had that choice. And he did it. But you learn from that, so.
Yeah.
Anyways. Next time we're at you will be Royal Rumble.
Rumble predictions, yes.
Yeah.
Of course, tomorrow we have Saturday night's main event.
Yep. And the next time we do look back at your series, we're gonna look at Money in the Bank.
Right on.
I don't believe we ever did that.
I don't think so.
So, yeah, that was a cool show. But till next time, really? I mean, Matt, this is Killer Kyle. We will talk to you next time.
Later!
Deuces. Oh,
Bing!
don't forget, we are your Wheels of Fury heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
And yeah, bye.